following content is brought to you by Social Inform Media.
This story is brought to us from theguardian.com. Now, this one's out of England, but it does involve the police, and I thought I'd give it to you because this one could have very well been out of Massachusetts. Looking at this story, you could picture this. I had to look at about 7 or 8 different stories because I wanted to confirm it wasn't out of Massachusetts. I was like, are you sure this isn't the United States? No, it's England. It's out of Sussex. 2 police officers involved in firing a taser at a 93-year-old man in a wheelchair who had threatened care home staff with a knife are being investigated for manslaughter after the man's death. Donald Burgess, who had, guess what, 1 leg and dementia, died last month, 3 weeks after being hit by a taser. Now, on Thursday, the Independent Office for Police Conduct, or IOPC, confirmed it was investigating the June 21st incident, which involved 2 constables from the Sussex police. And I kept thinking, this has got to be Sussex. Yeah, Massachusetts. No, it's out of England. They were responding to calls that a resident at a care home in St. Leonards-on-Sea had a knife and was threatening staff. One of the officers tried to restrain Burgess using an incapacitant spray, probably like pepper spray, and a baton. Another officer then fired a taser before the knife was removed. Burgess was handcuffed, taken to the hospital, where he remained until his death July 13th. Sussex police referred the incident to the watchdog after allegations about the excessive use of force by its officers. The 2 constables involved have been served with misconduct notices and letters advising them that they are under criminal investigation for manslaughter. The IOPC stressed this did not necessarily mean that disciplinary proceedings or criminal charges would follow. Wow, just like the U.S., huh? The watchdog has taken witness statements and is reviewing the officer's body-worn camera footage. Investigators also attended a post-mortem and are awaiting the findings of medical examinations as the cause of Burgess's death is not yet known. Well, he was tased, he goes to the hospital, and he subsequently dies. Oh, he died of a heart attack, so okay, what wasn't the tasing? The IOPC's regional director, Graham Beasley, said, "I want to express my sympathies to the man's relatives and those who knew him. We've advised his next of kin of our independent investigation and explained the steps we will be taking." I was going to try to do that in a British accent, but I don't think I could do that. He goes on, "This will include investigating whether the force used by the 2 officers against this male was reasonable, necessary, and proportionate in the circumstances and in line with local and national policies, procedures, and guidance." And it goes down. You can read it. There's a link in the description box below. Deborah Coles, the executive director of the Human Rights Charity Inquest, said that it was almost unconscionable to think of a highly vulnerable old man with dementia in a care home being subjected to such use of force at the hands of the police. Boy, that was difficult to read. But basically she's saying, this vulnerable old man with dementia was it's unconscionable to think of what he went through at the hands of the cops. And I don't know. This one's kind of iffy. I mean, you had him, he has a knife, he's attacking people, but he's a 1-legged 93-year-old in a wheelchair. I don't know. He couldn't run up behind him and grab his wheelchair and bring it over or hold it back. What's he going to do? Eat. No. Was it a motorized wheelchair that went 30 miles an hour? I don't get it. You couldn't just run up behind his wheelchair and tip it back and go, with a baton and go, knock the knife out of his hand? I know, you're armchair quarterbacking. Well, it's a 93-year-old with dementia with 1 leg.